And now for something completely different.
Smoke medical weed every day.
The following thoughts on Hoppe Hour represent Ryan Hoppe and Facet. Listener discretion is advised.
Live from Tampa Bay, you are tuned in to Hoppe Hour.
He's the voice of a generation that got screwed by the baby boomers. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour starts in 4, 3, 2, Hoppe. Hoppe, Hoppe. This is Hoppe Hour with Hoppe.
Hello. How's it going? This is Hoppe Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. You can always call the show 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com, and it's Ryan Hoppe Radio on Snapchat. And that spelling is Hoppe. Now, if this is your first time hearing my show, hi, my name's Ryan Hoppe. Like I've said 5 times, and this is an award-winning, nationally syndicated circus. You may never know where the show will go. Hey, that rhymed. 1 second, we could be talking about Donald Trump for just a few minutes. I try not to get too political on here because I'm not voting. I don't like either side. Or we could be talking about how Bronny James shouldn't be in the NBA. You never know where this show will go, like I said. And this show is for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life. I don't care if you live in the UK or if you're in America. And by the way, it's an end of an era. Now, for the everyday average Joe and Jane that listens, this sounds like any other podcast. But tomorrow, I am getting a new podcasting board, and I am going to be selling this Rodecaster Pro 2 that I am currently recording on live from the chill room of Pinellas Park, and it's a little sentimental. I'm moving on up. I'm getting a better board, but it's just kind of like, you know, when you say goodbye to a new car, because not everybody's in podcasting, so I have to kind of relate it to something you guys would be doing. You know, when you have to say goodbye to your car or your cell phone and you have so many memories, it's so emotional. By the way, I can now announce it. I was just driving in my car and I turned on AM 1010 in Tampa Bay and I heard my voice. We are now syndicated on podcast radio. U.S. We are on in Savannah. We are on in Missouri. We are on in Detroit, Fort Myers, Tampa Bay, and North Carolina. And I believe we are also on in the United Kingdom. So if you're listening on a podcast radio station, hi. And I think I said Savannah as well. Yeah. If you want to hear more of my show, you can always go to every single major platform that has a podcast and search up Hoppe Radio. Hoppe Radio. Now, on this show, because I've been through so much heartbreak and I've gone on so many first dates, and I'm such a ladies' man, I'm just kidding. I've swiped right on everybody that's ever existed. I like to say I am the authority on all things dating when it comes to heterosexual men that are into women. Well, that's why they're heterosexual. I can't talk about someone who's bisexual or pan, even though I kind of think that's the same thing. I can only speak for a heterosexual male. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that on these dating apps, I haven't really been on in a minute. I've kind of given up on it. I've retired from it. But during the era of the last 9.5 years that I've been on and off of it, I'm telling you, all these girls here in America, I don't know how it is in the United Kingdom, all these girls are now doing OnlyFans, and they're like, keep talking to me on this app. I'm like, why? So I pay $5.99 to see you naked, and then you make me spend $15 for a dirty video, and then we never meet? It is sad how much men are simping for women recently. Now, I'm not going to be like one of my favorite talk show hosts of all time, Tom Likas. If you don't know who that is, just Google him. He used to be an anti-woman, like,
oh my God, this is the Tom Leykis show, Leykis 101. You should never pay more than $50 on a date.
he was very entertaining, but he wouldn't be allowed on the radio now. And he used to go on rants about how you shouldn't be nice to girls. I don't think that's the case. I always think you should be a gentleman to women. But there is this recent case I'm seeing of people that are born in the late 80s and early 90s where they are simping over women. They're like, oh my God, I got a girl to like me. I must hit her up all the time. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if I can give you some advice, that girl poops in the morning. That girl is going to die someday. We're all human. Whenever I've gone on a first date with a girl, they go, you know what's different about you? Besides your good looks and your 6'9" height, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the women like when I go, hey, what's up? How are you? Just talk to them like they're human beings. It is pathetic how much the everyday millennial is begging to get married. Now, I'm not going on an anti-marriage rant. If you want to get married, that's fine. But I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it would be better to not get married until you're 44 than force some relationship and then lose half your things. I'm talking to all these people I see at kava bars. Oh my God, I want to get married. 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 I want to get... Why? If you're going to force it, everything's going to fail. And I see this here from TMZ. Bad Barbie, a.k.a. Cash Me Outside. She has made a lot of money on OnlyFans. She has 24 million subscriptions and has made $500,000 in tips and has 32 million messages and has made a total of 71 million on OnlyFans. Now, some people might shame her. Usually it's incels, men that don't like women having free rights when it comes to sex. But good for her. I like the fact that she keeps her kid private because in this world, especially the other one that does it is Lena the Plug, who's dating that sociopathic pedophile known as Adam22. Google him. Don't. You'll be afraid. When you're in the adult entertainment business, you definitely need to keep your kids private. And I respect the ones that do that. But it was very weird how all these dudes join OnlyFans and they think that like that's how they're going to get the girl. It's like, I know you're having to pay in some way if you're going on a first date or whatever, buying her coffee. But if you are having to go on an app where you're paying like $7 a month and whatever, I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's not somebody you on a date. That's somebody you can have fun with or whatnot. But I feel like once you go into paying for their subscription, you pretty much lost them. Because I've interviewed a lot of porn stars, and they're human beings, and they usually date the people that don't pay for the content. So if you can't get their number off of the dating app, I'm telling you, I hate to break it to you, it ain't gonna work out. All right. 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. We record this show for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life. You like how I said Jane too? I included the women. I don't care if you live in the United Kingdom or if you live in the U.S. As long as you're listening to my show, that's all that matters. And to hear more of this show, if you're listening on the radio, just go to every major platform and search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour after this. Hang on.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning. hopperadio.com.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
All right. Here's the deal. If this is your first time listening to my show, I play throwback hip hop. If you don't feel like listening to the song, you can skip forward 4 minutes. But here is Flippin' That with Nina Sky. Remember them? And Rick Ross. We'll be right back.
This is
Rick Ross,
Nina Sky. It's cool and Dre.
and I'm flipping that, flipping that. I'm a renegade in the wrong. I'm a renegade in the wrong. Yeah, I'm a renegade in the wrong. Yeah, and I'm flipping that.
Let's get right to it. Your man's locked up, but someone's gotta do it. Oh my. I-95 drive south for the winter. Got a trunk full of birds, they fly south for the winter. Yeah. I ain't tryna get locked up tonight, but I told him I would put that on my life. So I gotta ride. I'm a rider, I'm a provider. Type of chick to take the stand and say your honor. I was beside him all night, yes I promise. But I gotta have to put them, and that's the problem. I gotta. Boy, is it okay for me to pull over the car when I get tired? I try to go with no sleep. Oh boy, I got that work wrapped in tight, coffee grounds to throw off them dogs and police. Oh boy, cause I ain't tryna get locked up tonight, but I told him I would put that on my life. So I gotta ride. I'm a rider, I'm a provider. Type of chick to take the stand and say your honor. I was beside him all night, yes I promise. But I gotta have to put them, and that's the problem. I gotta.
Maserati candy paint for that personal touch. You need a body or a bird, I'm the person to touch. At a party, no searching my persons as such. I got Ninas and both of Nina's purses, they bust. Bill in my dough, they deliver my blow. On no cigarette boats, that's $1 million a float. See, I get it and whip it, sip it and flip it. It ain't just to ship it. I'm a Washington wizard, my soul in a hole. I feel so in control when I'm whipping the mold, smelling like cinnamon rolls. Got the Benz in black, big beamer in beige. You hate on me, no swinging, we swinging them K's. Can't cipher my sounds, Ross beating the street. We got a load on the way, we eating this week. I'ma chill in Manhattan, sit to work in the Bronx. Take a, leave a brick, I be in them blocks.
Oh, sure.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
Yeah, that was Flippin' That with Rick Ross and Nina Sky. Oh, yeah. This following segment has been brought to you by Mitra 9, the best kava and kratom around. mitra-9.com. And at checkout, use keyword Hoppe, Hoppe, to save 20%.
marijuana. 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 Marijuana.
It's time to turn Hoppe on. It's time to turn Hoppe on.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
And now for something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
856-49 Hoppe. 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me. RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. All right. Jaylen Brown, who first of all plays for the Boston Celtics and should not have been left off the Team USA roster. He has spoken out about Nike before, and he is a little political, so that's very political there. So he has a little bit of free time. He got a close-up view. He went to the Lakers Summer League game. And it says here, Jaylen Brown got a close-up view of Bronny James on Monday night, and the Celtics star first assessment of LeBron's son does not appear to be a glowing one. The NBA Finals MVP, oh yeah, but he so shouldn't be on Team USA. Get the hell out of here. The NBA Finals MVP had courtside seats for Bronny's Summer League matchup against Boston at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. And at one point during the contest, he leaned over and seemed to tell his girlfriend, WNBA player Kaiser Gondrezick, a less than favorable review of the 19-year-old. He says, I don't think Bronny is a pro. She says, I think he'll be on a G League team for sure. And he said, because of his name, he's going to be with the Lakers. Duh. And all these Laker fans, there's two types of Lakers fans. I was a huge Laker fan back in the day because my uncle lived in Los Angeles. Rest in peace, Uncle Kenny. He died March 22nd, 2024. But he was a huge fan. He moved to LA in 1979, so he watched Magic Johnson and Kobe and Shaq. And me and him talked on the phone during the 2010 NBA Finals Game 7 when it was Celtics versus Lakers. So I'm kind of like sort of a Laker fan, but I haven't liked this LeBron era at all. But let me tell you, there's two types of Lakers fans. The first type are the people who are kind of now watching because they can't stand LeBron. And then the other 50% are like stans, which means like they think LeBron can do no wrong. They're simps for LeBron. And those same people that bow down to LeBron and just freak out about him all day long are the people that are like, give Bronny a chance, give Bronny a chance. I've watched some of the quote-unquote highlights of Bronny James. He's not very good. And he has been seen online playing video games, and he's very good at that. And he's one of those dudes, it's like a recent thing you see in the NBA. You see Karl Anthony Towns, and I think Devin Booker does as well, but definitely Ben Simmons. All the players that are pretty good to below average always are like gamers online. I'm not saying you're not allowed to play video games, but when you're better at video games than the NBA, I think we have a problem. So when you have Jaylen Brown saying this about Bronny, of course he's not going to care. He's on the rival Celtics. And the thing is, he responded via a tweet, and he didn't even really seem to like deny it because they caught him on camera. I'm sure he knew the cameras were on him, and he's spicy as it is. He doesn't even really care anymore because he got left off Team USA. So here's what happened. Jaylen Brown retweeted the video, and he said, it's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity. Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. Look forward to watching his growth. But what I loved is he didn't deny it at all. Others would maybe kind of hide from that and scour. That's the wrong word, but they would just like be afraid that they got caught. But I love how he's just like, nope, that's how I feel. And that's the important thing is when you say something outlandish like that, you got to stick by your words like a man. Like you literally have people all the time on ESPN say something incorrect and they will also say something that is correct. But if it's anti-LeBron, they'll be like, that's not what I meant. And this is a little political, but like when George Stephanopoulos was seen jogging the other day and said Biden wasn't a good candidate, and ABC is like, that doesn't reflect our opinions. You always have people give their true take, and then people all of a sudden like run from what they said, and they're like, that's not what I meant. I loved that Jalen was like, nope, that is 100% what I meant. I feel bad for the players that were undrafted where they could have had a spot on the Lakers. But honestly, I would rather play in the G League and show people what I can do than be drafted to the Lakers. I mean, that whole team is going to be an absolute joke. You have J.J. Redick, who has never coached before, and I think he'd be an okay coach. But when your first time is being the puppet master and former co-host of a podcast with LeBron James, and that's the coach that you have as the Lakers head coach, I think they have a problem. And the problem is that they're doing everything for LeBron, but he's got what, maximum of 6 years left, and they just drafted for the future. Some people might say I'm a bandwagoner for this, but I love the Golden State Warriors because I love Stephen Curry, and I love how underrated he was going into the league. So I like him. I liked Kobe on the Lakers. I have some memories of Michael Jordan. So people have been like, how are you a Warriors fan and a Lakers fan? I'm not a Lakers fan right now. I know that sounds kind of bandwagon, but I'm just not. I don't know. I don't dislike LeBron. I have a lot of good memories, love hating watching him. I know it was cool seeing him give Cleveland a championship, but he's just wishy-washy. There's something about the guy. I think it's because he didn't have a father growing up. And I know that makes him a good dad to Bronny because he's probably overcompensating a little bit because he didn't have that in his life. But at the same time, it's like everyone's so afraid to admit that Bronny sucks. It's like, it's okay. Don't worry. If this was any other player, he'd be crucified. But ESPN and Fox Sports 1 are all afraid to say it like it is. That is nepotism at its finest. I've seen it before with morning radio shows where somebody gets a morning radio show or they get a radio show because of like who their father is, and the show doesn't do that well. And it's like, because the person is a different person. Everybody immediately thinks, hey, if you're the son of somebody who's famous, everything's going to be just like the way it was with your father or mother. And that's not the case. But then again, there's really no reason to ever complain about nepotism because it's never, ever going to go away. I have this saying, if I'm bored, you're bored. I'm not bored, but I'm sick of talking about Bronny James for today. So we're going to take a quick break. You can always reach me. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com, and it's Ryan Hoppe Radio on Snapchat. And what do you think my website is? ryanhopperadio.com. And to listen more to this show, go to every major platform and search up HOPPE Radio on all the platforms. I record this show for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life. I don't care if you live in Savannah, if you live in Missouri, if you live in Detroit, Tampa Bay, Fort Myers, the UK, North Carolina. As long as you're listening to my show, that's all that matters. Coming up next, we're going to talk about some more celebrity news. No more sports or politics for today. That just was a little bit of what I wanted to talk about. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour after this. Do not touch that radio dial, that smart device, however the hell you are listening. We'll be right back. Hang on.
Hoppe Hour.
RyanHoppeRadio.com.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
Like I say before each and every song, if you don't feel like listening, you can skip forward 4 minutes. But here is Gunplay by Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. Kush.
Maybach music.
Mary Jane Flower, Mary Jane Flower. Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower. That kush, that kush, that kush, that kush, that kush, that kush. I'm on that kush, that kush, that kush, that kush, that kush. Mary Jane's flower. I don't smoke no Reggie, I don't smoke no mid. I'm always fucking high, so much we might have kids. And while you babysitting the blunt, that's that shit I don't like. I'm looking for one of these bad bitches to come ride me like a turnpike on some real shit. I'm a pothead, please don't blow my high, man. Look into my eyes and it look like I'm from Thailand. I am smoking on that gas, life should be on Cinemax. Smoking on that OG and that double R, I'm real relaxed. I smoke so much kill, they call me killer. Man, I'm on that strong bodybuilder. Like that shit and pass it. My white girl on that acid, but me, I'm on that kush, that kush. Don't you? And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower. Yeah, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower. Don't play fuck with. And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flowers. That kush, 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 that kush. Mary Jane's flowers.
That little bottle, big bubba bouquet. And by the look at my paint, man, it's a wonderful spray. Sucker tryna fuck my high up on a sucker-free day. I told that sucker park your whip, cause this a sucker-free lane. Harry Hoover, Hussein, kick-ass weed, Wu-Tang. B's for big on the Bentley, can't squeeze through lanes. Raw papers in Jamaica, eat some Aki roller acre. I be hippie blitz, trippy sticks, activate the vapors. And this anthrax wax, give you asthma attacks. I'm a smoker, use a choker, gon' and pass that back. Lighting weed, that's my dope style. Eyes lower than my profile. This ain't hit your lung, your cough both out.
And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flowers. And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flowers. That kush, 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 that kush. Mary Jane's flowers. And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower.
Cushion and swishing, couldn't be sweeter. I'm talking P80 mine, the THC off the meter. I spark 'em up in the theater. Cloud so thick, heavy on real estate. House your bitch, black bottle boss. I'm burning like Biggie, Bob Marley and Ziggy. My niggas, we run the city. It's a very thin line, you can candy paint mine. All I want is Chevys and the best kush I could find. 60 in the bank, another 100 on my mind. When we started out with Reggie, we were barely getting dimes. We were barely getting dimes. Now all we fuck is dimes.
Bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flowers. And I got a big bouquet of Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flower, Mary Jane's flowers. I'm on that kush, that kush, that kush, that kush.
What do you want?
And you know we on that kush, that kush, that kush.
Oh, that's right.
That kush, that kush. Mary Jane's flower, that kush. Nothing but that kush. We ain't smoking nothing but that kush.
I think you like your weed.
Don't pass it if it ain't that kush.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
Oh, yeah. This following segment has been brought to you by DZBZ Honey at dzbzhoney.com. When I tell you that DZBZ Honey is the best Delta 8 CBD honey around, I'm a man of my words. Go to dzbzhoney.com. There you can get honey sticks, lollipop, licked up, or a jar of honey. And at checkout, make sure you use keyword Hoppe, Hoppe, to save 20%. All right, we're going to come back on Hoppe Hour and keep this party going. If I may do my Mike Francesa impersonation after this.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
What everyone else is afraid to say, Ryan Hoppe will say for you. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
And now for something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
856-49-HOPPE. 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. All right, let me turn this down. Before we continue, let me chug this Red Bull, because I can't just continue on with this show. I know it's been high energy. I know you weren't sure where I was going to go when I used the word high. I am high as well. This is very high energy, but I want it to be even more high energy. So I got this 20 ounce of Red Bull. Who's ready for some rants?
Oh! Whoa! Happy hot topic! Terrell Davis, touchdown, standing up.
This morning, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Davis demanding an investigation after he says he was unjustly handcuffed and removed from a United Airlines flight. The Broncos legend was traveling from Denver to Orange County, California, when he says, "My son politely requested a cup of ice. The flight attendant either didn't hear or ignored his request and continued past our row. I calmly reached behind me and lightly tapped his arm to get his attention. He shouted, 'Don't hit me,' and left."
One would have to wonder if this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't a famous NFL player.
Davis says he didn't see the flight attendant for the rest of the flight, but when the plane landed, 6 FBI and law enforcement agents boarded the plane, handcuffed him, and removed him. Davis says he was humiliated, adding that questioning him, the agents determined the flight attendant was inaccurate in his accusations, and the agents profusely apologized.
Yeah, I would sue that flight attendant. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like everybody has lost their minds on airplanes. When I'm on an airplane, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am on my best behavior. I just want to get in and out. I can't even really fit on an airplane. Now, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's the deal. Is if you're listening and you haven't seen me in person, I'm so handsome. But I'm also 6'9", so I don't fit anywhere. All right, back to the clip.
United says it removed the flight attendant from duty while it reviews the incident, saying this is clearly not the kind of travel experience we strive to provide.
Duh.
We're the only ones getting taken off the plane. Look at us.
In recent years, we've seen a number of high-profile incidents involving black airline passengers. Earlier this year, 8 black men were removed from an American Airlines flight after a white flight attendant complained they had body odor. 3 of those men told CBS they were suing for discrimination.
I would too. That is clear racism.
Discriminated against. The entire situation was racist.
In the wake of that incident, the CEO of American outlined steps to strengthen diversity at the airline.
I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they need to have some sort of cameras, like almost like a body cam on an airplane, because it just becomes a he said, she said incident, and you never know what to believe.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
All right. Here is the latest on J-Lo and Ben Affleck as they're navigating through a difficult time on their second wedding anniversary.
I've always, for better or for worse, have followed my heart.
I would say it leans towards for worse.
And my instincts, and this is where it brought me to.
Seems Jennifer Lopez is doing just that as she spends time apart from her hubby, Ben Affleck.
I love how they're saying hubby in like present tense. Like, I don't think they're together anymore.
Source telling ET how the couple is navigating this difficult time amid their second wedding anniversary.
Maybe Jennifer Lopez needs to marry herself so then she can break up with herself and realize she's the problem.
Do our best. We do try our best.
As they face marital issues, our source says Jen and Ben have been trying to focus on their loved ones. Both are keeping their kids at the forefront of their minds as they...
That's good. I do like that for sure, that they're thinking about their kids in this situation.
Move through these changes. It's been a confusing and difficult time for everyone, but all parents involved are doing their best to adapt and be supportive towards one another.
Yeah, it's got to be hard when you have kids involved. When I've had breakups, I'm just like, bye-bye. See you later, alligator.
It's a juggling act, just like any mom who works. It's hard because you feel that tug and that pull, and then you have these responsibilities, and, you know, it's a juggling act. It's a hard...
Is it a juggling act? You were about to go on tour and not be around your kids, but then you used your family as the reason why your tour was canceled when it was ticket sales. Don't try to relate to the everyday average Jane of a mom or dad.
Breaking little juggling act.
And J-Lo's been doing some juggling with the kiddos, including Ben's eldest daughter, Violet. The actress sharing this video in a car with the 18-year-old and her friend over the weekend.
Girls just wanna dance.
I gotta skip over this because of copyright.
Ben, nowhere in sight.
What can I tell you?
Ben and Jennifer's strained relationship all coming nearly 2 years since they tied the knot twice.
One has to wonder why they got back together. I mean, you truly never go back to an ex. If you're trying to make it work with an ex, you don't think you can do better.
Last-minute ceremony in Vegas in July 2022. Then in August, had a southern wedding at Ben's Georgia estate.
When Ben and I got back together, I was very, very inspired.
Most recently, the singer talked about their rekindled relationship in her documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told.
Yeah, we all went right to Amazon Prime to watch that.
We're totally different people now, and we're the same. And we have the same love.
Yeah, if you're the same love as you had 20 years ago, then it's going to end in a breakup. If you had a different love, maybe it would work.
100%. Like, I'd never fallen out of love with you. I had just put it over here.
Yeah.
I thought her love didn't cost a thing.
The doc went behind the scenes of the making of This Is Me Now, a love story. The musical experience inspired by their romance.
All right, I feel like vomiting. Not literally. You don't have to listen to that. It's not a morning radio shock jock show. I'm just telling you, they're nauseating. All right, real quick.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce had an epic double date. The pair met up with good friends Patrick and Brittany Mahomes in Europe while Taylor continues the Eras tour.
Oh, wow, they went on a double date. I mean, it just feels like such old news. It's like either Swift and Kelce are going to get married or it's just going to end in a really popular music video where she's dressed up like a football player.
She shared some fun photos from her trip to London and Amsterdam with her husband and 2 kids, 3-year-old daughter Sterling Sky and 19-month-old son Patrick Bronze Levon.
I wonder if Travis cheated on her in Amsterdam. Oh, I'm sure he never cheats on her.
And the couple just announced last week that Brittany is expecting their 3rd child. The post included a mix of photos of the 28-year-old with her family sightseeing in London, and also a sweet snap of her hugging her bestie Taylor, who gave her...
Oh, I'm sure they're besties and are not doing it for pictures. Okay, I've had enough of that. I love when, like, incels are like, she's not pretty at all. Like, yeah, Brittany Mahomes seems a little annoying at times. As I've gotten older, she drives me less crazy. But she seems like a good mom. I'm sure she's a good wife. I'm sure she's good at making love. And just because she might be a little irritating doesn't mean she's not pretty. I love when dudes that can't get girls are like, she's not pretty. You know? If she walked right in front of you and was like, hey, do you want to make love? I don't think you are declining the option. 856-49-HOPPY. That's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. We record for the hardworking average Joe and Jane that grind in life. I don't care if you live in the UK or you live in the US, as long as you're listening, that's all that matters. If you're listening on the radio and you want to hear more, go to every single major platform that has a podcast and search up HOPPE Radio. All right. We are going to take a break. If you're listening on a radio, I appreciate it. Don't touch that dial. If you're listening on a platform, keep listening. We will be right back on Hoppe Hour after this. Hang on.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
RyanHoppeRadio.com.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
What song do I feel like playing? Oh, yeah, I'm a little high right now. I smoked a little weed before this. Allegedly, I would smoke. And here's Trippy with Kid Cudi and Rich Hill. If you don't feel like listening, you can skip forward 4 minutes and 26 seconds, bro.
Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy, trippy? I said I have gone and I never come back, man. I never come back. And have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy, trippy? Oh, feel it in my veins, feel it in my soul, feel it in my mind, feel it in my heart, feel it in my soul, feel it in my world, feel it in my space, feel it in my life, feel it in my lines, I'm trippy in my eyes, I'm trippy in my eyes. Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone, oh? Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone, oh? Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone, oh? Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone, oh?
I can't see the sun if it doesn't come through my shade. I don't wanna see no one but myself today. Now I'm just tripping on the love I had yesterday. And time passes by me day by day. I feel it in my bones, feel it in my lungs, feel it in my brain. Feel it in the day, feel it in the night, feel it in the day. I never feel the same, I always feel different, never feel the same. And now I'm just tripping, going on my trippy, going on my trippy, 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 trippy.
Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone, oh? Tell me, have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone trippy, trippy? Have you gone? can't get my radio to play no songs. And now I can't get my spaceship to fly away. I think I'll make it work, but today is not my day. So now I think it's time for us to fly away. Yeah. I can't see the sun if it doesn't come through my shades. I don't wanna see no one but myself today.
Oh, sure.
Now I'm just tripping on the love I had yesterday.
Got it.
The time passes by me
day by day.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
Call Hoppe now. 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at him at Ryan Hoppe Radio.
He never holds back, and he speaks his mind. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Oh, yeah. This following segment has been brought to you by Fortify.com. FORTIFEYE.com for the best pre and post workout around. At checkout, use keyword Ryan20. Brought to you by the nationally syndicated Dr. Michael Lang of the Ask the Doctor radio show.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
Did you know that Ryan Hoppe got a vasectomy? Well, now you know, and we aren't even sure why we told you. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
And now for something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. All right. If you're listening on the radio and you want to hear more, search HOPPE on all major platforms. But let's talk about that annoying hack known as Jack Black. Hey, that rhymed.
Whoa! Happy hot topic! Look into my eyes and it's easy to see. 1 and 1 make 2, 2 and 1 make 3.
But in Tenacious D's case, 1 and 1 make 0 because Jack Black just canceled the band's concert tour amid controversy.
I don't know. I'm sure he's an okay guy, but I've never found him funny. He just seems so annoying.
Take a look at what happened.
Surrounding the shocking assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump.
Tenacious D is still going full force.
Not anymore. The actor and musician says he was blindsided over the weekend by Tenacious D partner Kyle Gass, as his longtime bandmate celebrated his birthday with a cake and candles on stage in Australia.
They just seem so annoying. I'm just not into that, like, ironic humor. Like, he was okay in School of Rock, but he's just so vile.
When asked to make a wish, Kyle answered, "Don't miss Trump next time."
And they're only canceling the tour because of the backlash. When this happened, he didn't say sorry. He didn't say, "Hey, don't say that."
Anytime you need to be serviced, KG and I will be there.
But not in the wake of their backlash over Kyle's remark. Jack disabled the comments on this statement he shared to Instagram Tuesday, telling fans, "I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form." He shared.
And here's what else he wrote, because they didn't read it. "I was blindsided by what he said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form." Before I continue, but you let the show go on and you didn't interrupt him when he said that. You're just mad that you got caught, you fraud. You haven't been funny since like Nacho Libre in 2006. Anybody who finds you funny is living off of the 2000s. Back to what he said. "After much reflection, I no longer feel it is appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I am grateful for the fans for their support and understanding. You're just saying this because you got caught. In the moment, you didn't go, hey, don't say that. You're just mad you got caught. And your ticket sales were probably low, and a lot of the venues probably canceled. Shut up. God, I can't stand him. Next on Hoppe Hour.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Still wasn't as bad as Fergie's national anthem.
Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Oh, shit.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Got it.
Ingrid Andress is breaking her silence over her viral national anthem performance at Monday night's Home Run Derby in Arlington, Texas. On Tuesday, the 4-time Grammy-nominated artist released a statement on Instagram which read, "I'm not going to BS y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need." That was
shut up. You just suck at singing and you can't hide behind auto-tune.
Was not me last night.
I hate when they don't read the full statement. She goes, "That was not me. I apologize to the MLB, all the fans in this country I love so much for their rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is, and I heard it's super fun." Shut up. You just need a vacation. Shut up.
The help I need. That was not me last night.
Yeah, it was.
The 32-year-old.
It's like a basketball player missing a game winner and being like, "That's not me." No, it was.
Then apologized for her rendition, adding, "I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. XO Ingrid."
That's the most Gen Z thing ever, being passive aggressive at the end. It was bad. Don't get me wrong. But Fergie's national anthem, she was trying to like make it sexy, at least with Ingrid. I'd never even heard of her, but she's pretty cute. At least with hers. She was trying. Here is Fergie in 2018 at the NBA All-Star Game.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, sure. Yeah, Mr. President.
Early light, what so proudly wave.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but yeah, I would say that's a lot worse. Mm-hmm. Speaking of someone who's a lot worse.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Miranda Lambert is stopping her concert again to call out fans causing drama.
You should just be glad that people are paying to see you in 2024. You're a little washed up.
As seen in a video shared to social media, Miranda has once again stopped her concert mid-show to call out audience members. She reminds the crowd at Montana's Under the Big Sky Festival on July 13th, quote, "Are we done with our drama yet? Fighting is not okay. And
at least they're paying attention.
It's always the girls. We get crazy."
You have her, you have Busta Rhymes recently, you have all these middle-aged acts complaining and ripping into their audience members. You should be grateful.
Cheers, everybody. I'm gonna wait it out.
All right. I'm glad you waited it out. I bet all your fans were so excited. Whatever.
Prior to that moment, the 40-year-old also calls out the audience at large for not paying attention.
Well, maybe that says something about your performance. Pay attention to me. My dad never loved me.
Saying, quote, "I can see your head is not turned the right way, which is this way. So if you came to visit, you can do it somewhere else."
All right, and we're going to talk about someone else because you sound pretentious.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
Dance Mom star Christy Lukasiak was arrested for driving under the influence after being involved in a violent car crash last month, according.
Yeah. Why are you driving drunk, especially with DUIs at an all-time high? You can just get an Uber or a Lyft. Oh, but I'm above it. I'm from the show Dance Moms.
To documents reviewed by E! News. Christy was on the Lifetime show with her daughter Chloe and is also mom to daughter Clara. She's currently awaiting a preliminary hearing and will appear before a judge for sentencing on August 3rd.
I'm sure she'll get nothing. Next on Hoppe Hour.
Happy Hot Topic!
But you met Rihanna, and it was a big deal. Yeah, no, the world was like, what? Two of my favorites? Oh my gosh. But the first time you meeting her.
It was an amazing experience for me.
It was.
Rihanna is the ultimate girl's girl. In an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Natalie Portman revealed to the late-night host how the music superstar boosted her confidence amid her divorce with ex-husband Benjamin Millepied. The two women had an iconic interaction, which was captured on video back in January at Paris Fashion Week.
Whatever. Rihanna is the reason why I'm heterosexual. She's so beautiful.
An amazing experience for me.
It was.
I think every woman going through a divorce should get to have Rihanna say to her that she's a bad
Why does Jimmy Fallon always have that fake laugh? Ugh. Good for him. I've heard he's fun to party with. That dude has a drinking problem. How do I know? Because I used to have a drinking problem. And then I turned 30 and hangovers began to suck.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
RyanHoppeRadio.com.
Hoppe Hour will be right back.
All right, here's the deal. We're going to talk about Armie Hammer last. We're talking about Young Thug and Richard Simmons. Quite the combination. But if you don't feel like listening, you can skip forward 4 minutes and 5 seconds. But here is Herda featuring GLC and Vi.
Y'all now in tune with something beautiful right here. Something epic. This official. Matthias, let's make it. Look, us being a nice guy, I leave that to them dudes that shoot hoops. I'd rather roll through in a new coupe with chicks that get 200 to do shoots. Rolling a shooby doobie while we listen to smooth grooves. Dude, I tried to told you I'm hot like magma and keep them stashed up in the Dodge Magnum near the stash of the Magnums. Never know which one I'ma use. Right there, I got a couple people confused. Cause Vi never lose, and Vi never snooze. Pop shit, then I pop this shit, knock you out of your shoes. I shut down crews and rock tailor-made suits and Louis shoes. It's hard to do what I do. Stunning like Evel Knievel, keep a watch face see-through. I do this for my people, selling through they screen though. My mom said I was a walking felony, cause I kept 16s in the closet like Kelly. Shop with the sellers. Dogs ain't barking at them, chickens ain't clucking at them, pigs ain't searching at them, birds ain't chirping. I'm a hustler for real. My dogs ain't barking at them, chickens ain't clucking at them, pigs ain't searching at them, birds ain't chirping. I'm a hustler for real. Nah, dog, I'm not a mad rapper. I'm a disgruntled MC, and I teach you dudes about tussling with me. Truth is, I hate these marks. I should pull this jammy and spark and leave these rappers handicap park. And when you see your boy out, bow down and kiss the ring. With a crew about myself, I ain't worried about a thing. This is Shot City, man. Where the f you from? How your chick can't go if she ain't gobbling. My partner Supreme told me flows hard on these monkeys. I hit Pro Gyms and told them make my wrist chunky. Chain hung like donkey. And for them dudes who want it nickname beautiful, keep them brass on me. Homie, I'm funky like leg shots to let you know that I'm serious. When them blocks get hot, I'm in the streets bare chested. I got money invested. These detectives. My dogs ain't barking at them, chickens ain't clucking at them, pigs ain't searching at them, birds ain't chirping. I'm a hustler for real. My dogs ain't barking at them, chickens ain't clucking at them, pigs ain't searching at them, birds ain't chirping. I'm serious in this mother. This ain't the young and restless. You could say the drama like support boy. Put your life on pause like a comma. When you cutting corners and you stacking money, music can turn comedians, man, they get to acting funny. I know the MCs, the real MCs. Same old same dude, man, them was shopping with me. Get a pumpkin head in front of your little daughter. You a broke pop machine, get you out of order. I'ma come and get you. Don't make me hit your shells like a snail or an armadillo. Watch the blue lights with the blue films, slice it, make him look like he got gills. This ain't artificial, man, this real. Throw him in Lake Michigan and hope the nigga can't swim. And if he can't, I guess he won't live. Giving names, get your change, he ain't hate a bill. There's nothing, Charlie. Let's go. I am the grain.
Chickens ain't clucking and them pigs ain't searching and them birds ain't chirping.
Oh yeah. All right. This following segment, before I get into it, can't just not play this music. This following segment brought to you by Amir Academy of Martial Arts at amiracademy.com. This is being brought to you by westchaseprinting.com. counselingoncall.net. And that's about it.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
He's the voice of a generation that got screwed by the baby boomers. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Call Hoppe now. 856-49-HOPPE. Tweet at him at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Or chat him live via the Hoppe Radio app.
Hoppe Hour. Hoppe Hour.
And now for something completely different.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
Oh yeah. 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856-494-6773. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. All right. Enough of this. We have about 9 minutes left, so let's get right into it. If you're listening on the radio and you want to hear more, go to every single major platform and type in HOPPE Radio.
Whoa! Happy Hot Topic!
And the judge overseeing the long-running racketeering trial against rapper Young Thug has been removed from the case. This comes after two defendants sought Judge Earl Glanville's recusal, citing a meeting with the judge and prosecutors, as well as a state witness. ABC legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer is here to break it down for us. Brian, this is a major ruling. How did this happen and what happens next?
Absolutely. So as you said, this all started off because of what we call an ex parte communication, where a judge, prosecutors, and the defendant's witness, was in this closed room without the other defendants there. That's ex parte, not typically allowed to happen. And so when Judge came out and Brian Steele, the attorney for Young Thug there, said, hey, I found out there was a meeting and I wasn't a part of this, and you didn't even tell us what occurred there, and now Kenneth Copeland is not pleading the fifth and testifying. We need to find out about that. And that's when these motions started to fly. What ultimately happened is the Judge Glanville gave this case to Judge Rachel Krause, and she just handed in a decision yesterday and ultimately decided that the way that the judge handled the case, even the ex parte, was fine, but the way he came out and evaluated and accepted his own truths as a witness and judge in this ex parte communication was wrong, and that was the basis for his removal. Next is assigning a new judge and then seeing where we start in this case as it goes forward.
Now,
Young Thug is such an idiot because he bragged about all the crimes he committed. And I was like, what are you doing, bro? They're going to use that against you in court. And it's funny when they show video of Young Thug's music being played in court. Everyone's like, yeah, this music sucks.
You spoke to Doug Weinstein, one of the attorneys for a YSL member who's another defendant in the larger case. What are they preparing for now?
Yeah, so Doug Weinstein represents DeMonte Kendrick, or Yak Gotti as he's known, and he was just as shocked when I spoke to him yesterday. I actually spoke to him while he was in his car, and what he's preparing for now is what comes next. His understanding is that typically when a judge is removed, you move back to where the issue occurred, the issue being when Kenneth Copeland took the stand. But if you go that far back, the jury has already heard some of what would call tainted evidence from that testimony that arguably should have never happened. So for him, he's preparing for potentially going back all the way to jury selection, or simply just going back to the middle of the trial. I can see your reaction. Going back to jury selection would be a lot, as we're already 100+ days into this trial.
That's the context, right? This trial has been going on such a long time already. What happens if they have to start from square one?
You start from square one. You start with jury.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not on that jury. Doesn't sound like a good time.
Happy Hot Topic!
7, here we go! In his first interview in nearly a decade, Richard Simmons reminded us why he was so beloved by so many.
Richard was vulnerable. Richard was real. He knew he was missed. And in fact, he missed his fans just as much.
Simmons, the eccentric, high-octane fitness coach who rose to fame in the 70s and 80s, sharing that he was happy, in great spirits, and even planning a comeback of sorts.
I think he was going to say that just to make people feel good, but he was never going to come back.
He had many things in the works. See, there's a documentary that was going to be made about him with which he was participating. There's a Broadway show that he was co-writing. So there's a lot of things he was excited about.
Simmons had not been seen publicly in over a decade, abruptly removing himself from the public eye in 2014.
I'm trying to find out what happened to Richard.
Speculation about his well-being and whereabouts so rampant, the longtime friend of Today called into the show to speak to Savannah in 2016 to debunk reports he was being held hostage by his longtime housekeeper.
It was really sad. Like, everybody was just exploiting him. Like, the guy just couldn't be low-key.
No one is holding me in my house as a hostage. You know, I do what I want to do, as I've always done. So people should sort of just believe what I have to say, because, like, I'm Richard Simmons.
But he insisted
he has a bundle of energy there.
People that he never stopped interacting with his fans.
He also said, to be clear, people think I disappeared and I haven't. I've been calling my fans every day. I email with them.
And he made a habit of leaving uplifting messages on social media too.
I'm here to make you happy and chase your blues away.
He also wasn't the recluse many thought he'd become.
He did let me know that he has been leaving the house, but in disguise.
But nothing.
Yeah, that must be weird going out in disguise because, man, it sounds like he lived a sad life. He's like a dancing Bob Ross.
Could disguise Simmons' love of people. In Simmons' last interview, he doubled down on the message that made him so adored.
He always wanted to know more about the person he was in front of, and that's why he affected so many millions of people.
As tributes continue to pour in, law enforcement sources tell NBC News that Simmons was found unresponsive in his home on Saturday night. The exact cause of death has not yet been revealed, but we will have more in the coming days.
All right, Chloe.
It's always weird when you talk about death, because someday we're all going to die. Isn't that an exciting way to end a show? The show just died. Not literally, it's syndicated in 7 cities, but this specific episode is
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
And like that, he's gone.
Happy Hour is now over.
Happy Hour is now over.
So, I don't know what my new podcasting board's going to be able to do when it comes to changing my voice, because right now on the Rodecaster Pro 2, this is my last show doing it with this board. So, since this might be the last time you hear my echo.
And my low voice, yeah. I didn't really like this one as much.
This was the fun sound effect. In honor of this sound effect. In honor of this board that I've had for the past 9 months. Time has flown, man. Time has flown. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to pray, because that's all nonsense. God's fake. When you die, there's nothing left. Because it's common sense, beginning, middle, end. Man, I'd be the worst at giving a eulogy. I would take forever. You know how on the show my catchphrase is, Well, together. I want everybody who's listening, I don't care if you're in your car, if you're in class, or you're at work, on a count of 3, give the longest you've ever given. I'll give a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8. I'm bored now.